red corner, we have Wicker Man! And in the blue but very, very pink corner, it is Icon!
Your transitions are so slow.
Your airtime is just non-existent.
Yeah, but I've got better wood than you.
Have you seen our press day?
Have you seen our press day?
Shit.
Do you have fire?
We've got airtime. Smooth transitions.
Have you got GCI?
Have you got lunch?
Have you got a lifter that does this?
Don't want to do.
You ain't got
that.
no lifter!
We've got the lunches. LSM.
That goes about 2 miles an hour.
Up to 50.
Okay, I know people are going to be triggered by this video, and I am fully aware that we're comparing two different types of roller coasters. But please keep this in mind, this video is just for fun. And again, you know, these are two major additions to the UK this year, and they cost about the same amount of money, so I don't see why we shouldn't be discussing this. What is our favourite coaster when, you know, they both invested the same amount of money into it? Yep, they're different, but yep, they're both roller coasters for the UK. So please discuss and enjoy. So 2018, it's already been a good year.
Both from Pleasure Beach and Merlin Parks.
Yeah, some might say it's the best year since 1994.
But is it? Who knows?
We thought the best way to do this video is by, you know, because we both love the coasters. We both think them
Both
coasters,
brilliant
you know?
coasters, but we're going to have a proper debate about which one's better than the other one.
So basically, I'll represent Wicker Man,
And I'm representing Icon.
and we can pick out the negatives there and
The positives.
just basically, you know, rip the shit out of each other. Then you'll be able to decide. So Wicker Man is a wooden coaster at Alton Towers, and is the first wooden coaster in the UK since Megaphobia back in the 90s. It's a wooden coaster built by GCI, or Great Coasters International, as you may know. And these coasters are generally great wooden coasters with lots of airtime and lots of good pacing throughout the layout. On the subject of pace, it reaches 44 miles an hour, and you can really feel that, especially during the bottom bank turn right beneath the Wicker Man statue, and has a total drop of 72 feet. It's not massive, but it does the job.
Icon is an incredible multi-launch coaster made by Mack, and it goes up to a staggering of 80 kilometers per hour in 2.25 seconds. The total ride time for this incredible launch coaster is 161 seconds. There's 3 trains for this incredible ride, and it's going to take your breath away. The amount of airtime is unreal, and it goes up to a maximum of 4 Gs.
So what I like most about Wicker Man, I think it is an amazing themed coaster. I think it's actually the best themed coaster in the UK. It kind of brings that kind of American, the higher class European theme park feel to it. The Wicker Man structure is stunning. There's flame effects and mist effects, all sorts of stuff going on. What I also love is that, it's a wooden coaster. We rarely get these in this country. Wicker Man is technically the first wooden coaster since Megaphobia, which opened back in the 90s. I think Wicker Man's great as well because it's a GCI and it's got amazing pacing, really good pacing, really awesome elements. I mean, there's an S-bend section that goes into like it's kind of like a double down S-bend section, and you get loads of airtime and loads of forces. Great mix on that. Airtime comes from random points in the coaster, places you will never expect. I think Wicker Man is a really solid coaster, really solid for families, and again, if you're a thrill seeker, I think it's a brilliant addition to a UK park.
So my positive thoughts on Icon is everything really. The airtime is superb. Like, it comes from so many different places throughout the throughout the track. It's unreal. Then you've got the launch itself, going through them tunnels with the mist effects just makes it breathtaking. As you're going through, you don't know when you're going to launch back up into that airtime hill. It's amazing. Round the back of Steeplechase, them S-bends, just like Cheetah Hunt over in Busch Gardens, is just, I can't explain it, just whipping in and out, unreal. So you're going back to the back of the coaster and you've got these helixes going round the entrance and you can just feel the force as you're going round. It's amazing. And also you've got the trains itself. The trains, the architect on the trains, I can't explain it. It's just the artwork, it's just amazing. You'll have to show a picture, right? I'll show a picture there. It's unreal, the trains are. So you've got the trains, you've got the airtime, you've got the mist effect, the theme in itself. So you've got a Chinese theme, like the red trees. What would you call the trees?
Cherry blossoms?
Cherry blossom trees. And just like, I don't know how to explain it, you'll have to see it for yourself.
It's Amanda's crazy dream.
Then you've got the theme in itself, so you've got the cherry blossom trees, especially on the opening. If you look back on the vlog, you've got all these pink confetti coming out, like the trees have like dropping the leaves all over the entrance like when it opened. Staggering, it really is. Beautiful ride, the length of it is unreal. Airtime, mist, the trains itself, unreal.
So what has Wicker Man got that Icon doesn't? I feel that Icon, is lacking that initial punch. I feel Wicker Man has the advantage there. I feel like you leave the lift hill, and as soon as you leave that lift hill, you've got so much speed, and from the get-go, you're in for a good ride. With Icon, it's more of a sizzle rather than a bang. Like the launch is quite gradual, so it's kind of a slow launch. You don't feel that initial kick. It does get going towards the end of the launch, you're going through the mist tunnels, but you're still left with that kind of feeling that it should have been more of a punch to it. I feel that Wicker Man is actually more consistent through the layout. I feel like it kind of retains its speed really quite well through all the layout. There's parts of Icon where I feel like it does kind of lose its speed a bit, like the incline loop. I feel like being at the start of a ride, that airtime hill, then that incline loop, it kind of kills the pacing just that little bit. I feel that Icon is lacking in theming. I mean, it looks fine. It's very stylised, as Amanda said. I think it does look great, but obviously when you compare Wicker Man's huge statue and, pre-show, Icon doesn't have that, and I feel like that's why I put Wicker Man forward, because of the theming on that. Like I said, both coasters are great, and to be honest, I don't actually know which one I prefer, so over to you, Mr. Icon Man.
So what are my thoughts? What's Icon got more than Wicker Man? In my opinion, yeah, it might have a slow launch to start, but getting through that dark tunnel straight into the airtime is just breathtaking for me. As for Wicker Man, at the start of the ride, that little pre-tunnel, it just doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't. I can just see them having a bit more to it, more theming in that tunnel. But for Icon, you just got the anticipation of looking down at that launch, looking into the mist and thinking, when's it going to go? As for the ride layout, yeah, Wicker Man has, S-bends, going through the Wicker Man itself. But for me, Icon, yes, the incline looks a bit slow, but other elements around the layout is just so nippy. Like back of Steeplechase, the S-bends, when you come into the barrel roll, yeah, that might be a bit slow, but the hang time is it's amazing. The airtime down into the second launch and the amount of speed that I've got already, going into that second launch, it just disorientates you all over, and you get straight into that inversion, and the hang time at the top of that inversion as well. Obviously you've got the helixes with Icon. You haven't really got helixes with Wicker Man. Yeah, it has little bends going here and there, and some weird banking like at the top where it stays straight. Yeah, you do get a bit of force in that, but for me, Icon, the helixes, you can really feel the G's coming at you. They really can. As for me, I think Wicker Man is just a new ride in the same park. Do you know where I'm coming from? Alton Towers is already a park where loads of people go to. Blackpool, on the other hand, I think Icon, well, they haven't had a big coaster in quite a while, so having that coaster there will bring so many more people, so many new people that don't really think that Blackpool's like a place to go for thrill. Obviously, you've got your family, you've got your Nickelodeon, and you've got the heritage like Grand National, Big Dipper, all that. But Icon will bring more thrill seekers to Blackpool, in my opinion. You've not got a big one. Obviously, that's getting a bit rough now. Grand National rough, but Icon, being as smooth as it is, the first mat coaster in the UK. Well, first mat launch, double launch in the UK. I think it's just more of a, as a whole, I think it's just going to bring more people there. For me, there's other wooden coasters around the UK, but there's only one Mac.
So both coasters, you know, they do have their pros and cons, but generally they are really fantastic, great coasters, and probably, in my opinion, the best coasters that the UK have had in a very long time.
It's great that we've got these two coasters this year, as we haven't had two big coasters in the same year for a very, very long time, as Chris just said. But what we want to know, which do you think is better?
What's your favourite? And I know there's going to be people in the comments, oh, you can't compare a wood and a steel coaster.
One steel, one wood.
But at the end of the day, it's a bit of a fun.
They're both thrill coasters,
if you want to moan. We're not trying to divide anyone's opinions. I'm not trying to say one coaster's shit, one coaster's
good.
Because, like we said, they're both fantastic. I personally prefer Wicker Man. I feel like it's got the edge. I enjoyed it more, it surprised me more, but I absolutely love Icon.
Wicker Man, definitely, brilliant ride. It's got that punch to it straight from the off, but Wicker Man, it has the elements to go, wow, you know what I mean? It's a front row ride, Wicker Man, and unreal. Wicker Man's a back row ride, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But everyone has different opinions. What's your opinion? What's the best coaster? Wicker Man or Icon? Check out our latest vlog here. Check out our random video here.
Subscribe.